A city and private school partnership arrived this week. Jacksonville University exposing a gap to be filled and announcing the school solution.
What's the next natural progression where we think we might be able to serve the community? And the law school and a law degree is near the height of the liberal arts spectrum.
President Tim Kost joins me to discuss the expansion of JU's number of colleges and why the university chose an off-campus location. Plus, honoring a global leader with ties to Jacksonville. We'll explore the Global Citizen Award presented to Gianrico Ferrugia. Plus, local city councilman Rory Diamond. He wants to work himself out of a job. His proposal and how he feels about taxes next on This Week in Jacksonville. Welcome to our show today. We have just arrived in March, so plenty of state politics that we'll get to this month. First, we're going local and regional with news from downtown Jacksonville. The ViStar Tower will host Jacksonville University's brand new College of Law, something University President Tim Kost was very excited to talk about with me earlier this week.
So we've been thinking a long time about law. We've been thinking about the 4 colleges we have of the university now and the 11 schools and the 2 institutes, and what's the next natural progression where we think we might be able to serve the community. And the law school and a law degree is near the height of the liberal arts spectrum. So we're excited. It starts this fall. It's going to be small, it's going to be smart, it's going to be affordable, and we'll be ready to go shortly.
There was a law school here in Jacksonville recently that ended for Florida Coastal, but the plans here must have been in motion far before the collapse of that other institution, right?
We've been having the conversation about the law school for more than 5 years over at Jacksonville University. The idea of what else would you look at? There are so many things that a good private university like us can do. We're the largest city in the country without a law school. The largest city in the country without a medical school. I mean, we should be looking at those sorts of things. So this really has almost nothing to do with anybody else who is in the field. And it looked like an opportunity. We talked to dozens and dozens of lawyers in town who all went to JU, graduated from there, then got their law degree somewhere else. There's 9 judges in Florida who all went to JU and did obviously go to JU Law School because we're just starting it, and went on to do great work. So we've talked to an awful lot of people for years about this.
At this week's announcement, I think I saw the Chief Judge, Mark Mahan, was in attendance as well. Is that someone who would say, yes, Jacksonville needs this? There's a desire to have people who are trained locally and ready to practice law?
Sure. Chief Judge Mahan has been terrific to talk to. We talked to everyone you can think we would be talking to, the Jacksonville Bar Association, the American Bar, Judge Mahan, all the judges who went to our university. We have a group called Dolphin Lawyers that has almost 60 currently practicing lawyers in it. And then on top of that, one of the things we think is special is the number of people who get law degrees and then go on to do interesting other things. And guys like Rick Mullaney, who run our Public Policy Institute, great lawyer for years and years with a law degree, and now running public policy. We have people at the university who run human resources and economic development with law degrees. When I was in the Fortune 500 for 32 years, almost 10% of all the CEOs in the Fortune 500 are lawyers by training and CEOs now. So we see an awful lot of room to move there.
Whether you're a university president or in that corporate world, that return on investment equation is pretty important. What's that figure like? What do potential students in the College of Law at JU have to factor in? You said it's going to be affordable.
Sure. So when you look at all the law schools, there's 205 law schools in America, but there's 7 in the state of Florida. We're the 3rd largest state in the country and 24th in lawyers per capita. So before people say there's too many lawyers in the world, relative to Florida, that's not the case. So what we're looking at is $36,000 of tuition, and we've already put together scholarship money to scholarship the students up to $14,400 each. In addition to that, we're raising private money to add even more to their scholarship. The goal is not to create crushing debt, it's to create graduates who can go out and excel.
And the average cost for a year of law school is more like $50,000 or more, isn't it?
Sure. If you look at a private university, and if you go up into the Northeast, you're going to go well above $50,000. Even in the state of Florida, there's an in-state price and an out-of-state price, and we're below the out-of-state price for even the best schools in the state of Florida.
Why did JU determine, hey, we're going to do that downtown in Jacksonville? This is at the ViStar building.
Right. And so In the ViStar building, years ago, we created an agreement, and Brian Wolfberg's been a great partner on this, to be able to teach graduate level courses downtown. We want to co-locate what we're teaching with where they can get the greatest experience. Here in downtown Jacksonville, I mean, it's not just a love letter to downtown, it's the fact that you're near courthouses and legal aid and the defender's office and Melissa Nelson's office and City Hall. The idea that you would be nearby all the best places, and most of the biggest and best law firms are downtown. So our Arlington campus is thriving, 250 acres on the water, but we believe a law school should be downtown, and that's where it'll be.
One of the things that comes to mind is that JU is taking these steps forward. We've seen, certainly in the time that you've been president, hey, always looking for not necessarily expansion, but ways to be maybe more relevant, more on the cutting edge. What does this say about the university as a whole? I know we're talking specifically College of Law, but it seems like this continues the pattern of trying to be better.
The goal is, can you reflect the region and the regional needs around you? I mean, the idea of an ivory tower is anathema to me and to the team. It's not, here's what we do, we hope people figure it out. It's, here's what the region needs, let's see if we can match that. So we've had 88 years of history of being a very, very good university. We're going to continue to teach all the liberal arts and sciences we do. But when problems arise, and you can see them on the horizon, like mental health counseling, if there's ever been a time, we put that in at the master's level. There's no respiratory therapy taught in the state of Florida, and now we're going to teach it, even as you and I sit here coming off of COVID, a respiratory pandemic. So trying to be responsive. When you look inside healthcare, it's fairly natural. You look inside business and technology, look at what we're doing with artificial intelligence, virtual reality, 3D, all those things. Now you get to law. There's a need in the region, and we've tried to move to fill it.
As we've talked over the years, I've heard you explain, hey, we talk with our community and we see what needs they have. What's happening in terms of technology, various kinds of technology? What is the community telling you at JU?
Yeah, sure. It's an important question because our ability to create capabilities, things that we should teach, content, courses, has to match what we think is going to be used, needed, consumed out in the community, the market. I mean, it's classic. So the interesting thing about technology is people tend to isolate it. They get a coined word in their head like fintech or medtech or health tech, and they think it sits aside from all the other work at the university. No, it's integrated into the university. So as we think about what we're doing in our health sciences college or our business school, soon to be our law school, the idea that we would be developing 3D technology, virtual reality technology, artificial intelligence technology, coding technology, and we'd be bringing those forward. At the same time, we're out talking to all the great corporations and organizations, institutions, foundations, and saying, what do you need? What's needed in Northeast Florida might not be the same thing that's needed in Palo Alto or Dallas. Okay, so you have those conversations. So it's there communicating with you what they need and us developing it. It's that moment when tech doesn't sit aside from everything else. It's the major tool that brings the partnerships together. And since I got here 10 years ago, we've created over 450 partnerships, any one of which probably is a press release. But that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah, JU College of Law just opened applications and within 48 hours had more than 80 students asking for admission. Classes start this fall with 20 to 30 students. By 2024, the projection is for about 150 students. The cost, as you heard President Koss say, is $36,000 per year. It's a 3-year program. And we're told all applicants will be considered for the merit scholarships he described. And then the city of Jacksonville made a $5 million public investment. Another reason for JU to be in the headlines this week, the Global Citizen Award. President Koss describing that award in this year's winner with ties to Jacksonville. That's next on This Week in Jacksonville.
When it comes to airplane seats, size matters. Same goes for your law firm, Morgan & Morgan.
Would you like some peanuts?
America's largest injury law firm.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
When cleaning your air ducts, it's important to clean the entire system. And air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer removes pounds of trapped dirt, dust, and allergens from your home completely. The cleaning improves your home's indoor air quality, keeps your home cleaner longer, and can even improve the efficiency of your HVAC system. We want you to have the cleanest and healthiest indoor air possible. So call for a free inspection today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
In times of tragedy and crisis, look to the first responders. In times of turmoil and confusion, look to us, your first informers. Every important local story on Channel 4.
How much you should expect to pay out of pocket for a test.
Every critical newsletter, free for News 4 Jax insiders, with a vital network of local experts.
Get their flu vaccines and get their COVID vaccine if they're eligible.
Checking every fact with our Trust Index.
Children wearing masks in classrooms.
News 4 Jax on Channel 4, the local station.
Dear Jacksonville, you've been my home for over 4 decades, and I can't thank you enough. I love my fellow hardworking, family-oriented, friendly citizens from Jacksonville, but there's some things we can improve in our town. We need to reduce crime, homelessness, and housing costs, for safer neighborhoods, improved mental health funding, and affordable housing. I can't imagine myself living anywhere else, so I'm running for City Council, and I believe in the possibilities of what Jacksonville can become.
Vote Jack Meeks, March 2023.
Watching my father build this law firm and practice law, he taught me hard work. There really is no substitute for hard work. That it's not just one individual, you have to rely on your team. The results will come from that.
Your go-to weather app just got 100 times better. The new Weather Authority app. Everything you need to know right on the homepage from the team you know and trust.
And easy-to-read radar with custom layers and one-tap storm tracking.
Personalized weather alerts, when and where you need them the most.
Stay alert of local storm damage and find important supplies near you with Snapchat.
No clutter, no clicking around. Just your forecast, fast. Download the new Weather Authority app today. Just search for News 4 Jax in your app store. You're watching This Week in Jacksonville with Kent Justice.
I visited with Jacksonville University President Tim Cost this week at the downtown location for the new College of Law. We also discussed an initiative Cost began last decade, and I asked him about a future goal. Would JU ever want to have a medical school?
I think we're in one of the greatest cities in the world for medical treatment and healthcare. I mean, it's a destination. They're the only city in the world with an MD Anderson and a Mayo Clinic. Our close partnerships with Baptist and Memorial and everyone else, all the way down to Flagler Hospital. In our health sciences, what's called the Brooks Rehabilitation College of Healthcare Sciences on our campus, absolutely. We've looked at everything from veterinary to dental to insurance to medicine to pharmacy. We look at all those things, but we would look at that hard, absolutely. If the region needed it, and if the hospitals and the patients and the community felt it was something that they could support, we'd take a hard look at that, sure.
Perhaps on a related note, this award that was being announced, we'd heard about it, presented this week, a Global Citizen Award, and it's to Dr. Ferrugia, the CEO of Mayo Clinic, used to be here, Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, now Big Mayo, if you will, there in Minnesota. Tell me about that award and why Dr. Ferrugia.
Sure. The Global Citizen Award we created, you know, I'm almost 10 years on now, so back in 2014, we said, how can you raise the discourse? How can you have a more interesting conversation that's not left, it's not right, it's not loaded with anything. It's just a smarter conversation. So with my own personal business background, we started with business and commerce. And we went to, at the time, the world's most famous businesswoman, the world's most powerful woman, according to Fortune, the chairman and CEO of PepsiCo, Indra Nooyi. And Indra accepted the invitation, came to town, spent the whole day with us, did a Q&A, talked to the students, accepted the award, and really kind of invested herself in it. So we thought, okay, over the long haul, over the next 10 years, let's do this each time we think we want to put another marker down for the community. 2 years later, I wanted to talk about the American experience, storytelling, civility, and we went to, I still think, the greatest documentarian in history, Ken Burns, and we went to Ken Burns, asked him if he came to campus, same thing, spent the whole day, showed our students early looks at a movie that hadn't even been released yet, now called Vietnam, which won many, many awards, and we had the same celebration. A couple years later, 2018-19, we wanted to talk about true global citizenry, philanthropy, and outreach. And we reached out to Nelson Mandela's daughter, Dr. Makaziwe Mandela, and she flew here from South Africa and joined us on her father's 101st birthday and accepted the award. Now we're to the 4th, and for about the last 18 months, we've been thinking about healthcare leadership. And who is it? Who are the best in the world? The #1 ranked hospital in the world is the Mayo Clinic, and we have great admiration for all the hospitals in Jacksonville. But Dr. Ginrico Ferrugia, who you're right, was here in Jacksonville and is now up in Rochester, Minnesota, I think is one of the handful of most brilliant healthcare strategists I've ever had. I spent 32 years of my career in business, most of it in healthcare. And to listen to Dr. Ferrugia talk about technology and robotics and the hospital of the future, we invited him, he's accepted the award, and we're excited.
Now, President Koss spoke with me at the College of Law for about 15 minutes, and we didn't play all of it, but I want you to hear what he said as we wrapped up concerning what he called the next big move with 2 or 3 chess pieces to position on the board.
What is the role of the premier private university in the region? You say, you know, if only we had somebody who could do a cyber range where you could troubleshoot. Okay, well, we should be there. If only somebody were doing mental health counseling and occupational therapy and PT, we're there. If only somebody were teaching finance and accounting and sport, we're there. I mean, you can't look at this and simply say, not for us. If you're going to say that, then you should communicate that back to the marketplace, that we're going to just do what we do. When I was in business, we would go see the greatest universities in the world, and we would say, here's where we are on cancer research, AIDS, diabetes, Alzheimer's. And we would expect that they would say, well, if that's where you are and that's what you need, let's see if we can almost universally, now I'm going back a few years,
they didn't do that?
They would say, well, that's very interesting. Here's what we do. And what would hang in the balance was the delta of innovation. And we would get back on the plane and we would say, that's one of the greatest universities in the world in that field. But it's just a bridge too far to go. So I always said, if I ever had anything to do with the university, and there's no reason that I would have thought I did, we would at least listen. Because the people were asking about banking or insurance or healthcare or the arts, they're the experts. We're educators. So it's our job. We then get a choice. If somebody says, what we really need in this city is a world-class veterinary school. And if I were to look at that and say, that's just not a good fit, we're not experts in that. It would take us so much and so long to get there that others should do that. But when it comes to a law school, we should be there.
JU will have the first new U.S. law school to launch since 2014. At least 6 have closed in America in that same time. All right, well, shifting to focus on Jacksonville City Council. Rory Diamond is with us next on This Week in Jacksonville.
You never know when an accident will happen, but one thing's for sure, you can call us anytime, day or night, 24/7. Farah and Farah.
At Affordable Dentures and Implants, that moment when we see a patient smile is everything to us. So whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we're here to help you. Go ahead and smile.
Go ahead and smile. Go ahead and smile. Go ahead and smile.
Get to Bears Furniture now for a 4-day living room sale sure to leave you smiling. Rethink what's possible with unbeatable deals you can't miss. For only 4 days, save 50% on all living room sofas, sectionals, and sleepers. Choose from 3 bestsellers, priced to move at over 50% off. Whatever style fits your life, we have it ready for you. Great deals, great styles, a great time to upgrade your home. The 4-day living room sale is going on now at Bears.
I got COVID in November 2020. In January, I started having long-term problems. I was a varsity soccer player in high school, and now I get winded just from walking. I can't remember things. It's just unbearable. I'm telling my long COVID story so that you won't have one to tell.
Getting vaccinated against COVID-19 is the best way to prevent long COVID.
Life is about showing up and about showing them you care. So, show up for your health and theirs. HCA Florida Healthcare makes your care easier, friendlier, and smarter. And you're at the center of it all. HCA Florida Healthcare. We show up for you.
My family and I wanted a fresh start, but we didn't want the hassle of selling our home.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate keeps you in control. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer today and start packing.
Inside Edition weeknights at 7:30 on Channel 4, the local station.
Dude ran the red light, hit me, all my airbags deployed. The pain started kicking in after I got out the car, and I had to be sent to the hospital in an ambulance. The guy that hit me's insurance didn't want to pay me. Eventually, I got lawyered up and went to Morgan & Morgan. My lawyer, she was there for me when I needed her, and she was like, we're gonna get you your money that you deserve. When my lawyer said we won, there was like so much weight lifted off of me, and I was so happy. We decided to go to Morgan & Morgan, and that's the best decision I ever made.
You're watching This Week in Jacksonville on Channel 4.
And thanks for staying with us. And now thanks for joining us to Rory Diamond, the CEO of Canines for Warriors, is the Jacksonville City Councilman for District 13. And Councilman, you turned some heads with a proposal recently. You're calling it the real term limits for Jacksonville. What would the bill do?
Hey, well, thanks for having me, Kent. And absolutely. So Jacksonville voters passed real term limits years and years ago. But you know what? I could now, because of loopholes, spend my entire life on the Jacksonville City Council. I could spend 8 years as sheriff, run and do 8 years as mayor, and then go back and do another 8 years as sheriff and another 8 years as mayor. Jacksonville did not want this ability to hop around. And so what my bill would do was put to the voters whether they now want real term limits to put this an end to this like hopping around. 8 years and done.
Examples come to mind, including current Councilman Matt Carlucci. He's in his third four-year term, but the first term was 1987 to 94. The next from 99 to 2003, the most recent starting in 2019. Is that an example of what you don't think is appropriate for Jacksonville leadership, elected leadership?
Well, whenever you're talking about good government, it's important not to focus on people, but on principles. And the principle is that 8 years is enough for anybody. Once you're in office, you become so powerful. You get lots of friends. You get lots of people who want to keep you in office. And so new people, new blood don't have a fair shake at it. And I think the people of Jacksonville deserve the right to vote for themselves, whether or not they want to be able to limit us to 8 years.
Jerry Holland says there's a difference between career politician and a career public servant. I bring him up. He's property appraiser now, previously supervisor of election. He's running to be supervisor of election again in the next cycle.
Yeah, that's true. I actually, it doesn't really matter. These aren't the most difficult jobs in the world. I mean, he's likened being in some of these offices to having a doctor without any experience. Look, the people are allowed to put who they want in there, but incumbents are so powerful that for someone new with new energy and new ideas who could bring our city forward to get a chance, we need to clear the field for them.
So I'm also thinking of the late Tommy Hazouri, who served with you on city council, but he didn't serve more than 2 terms in any office. He did serve in 4 different elected offices, so including council, school board, mayor, Florida House of Representatives as well. Would this affect someone like him?
No, it wouldn't have affected Tommy Hazouri. This is just about saying, look, 8 years in any one stop and be done, move on, go do something else. If you want to be like Tommy Hazouri and spend your entire career in public service, you could do that. Other people like me, I'll go back to the private sector when I'm done.
The resolution would allow for a referendum on the August ballot, and I think that's what you're referring to. Hey, let the people vote. Why not target the November ballot when more people turn out to vote and have a say on this?
I'm fine with either one. I just figured the next one is in August. Let's go ahead and have it in August and put this into our charter, and let's go.
Councilman, this week, Duval County School Board passed a resolution on a tax increase, so now it heads to City Council. Duval Schools want a $1 million increase to property taxes in order to increase teacher and staff pay. And the school board pointing to a massive teacher shortage, saying that the district needs money to recruit and retain employees, 1,000 open positions, including 400 teacher jobs. That's what we're hearing from them. So the district sends this to the council, expects the council to approve this as a procedural item. How do you view it?
No, I think we have a chance to vote no. I think the city council can say, no, we're not doing this right now. The reason why is we share credit meaning the school board and the city council are judged by the same bondholders at the same time. If they raise a mill, it affects the rest of the city. And frankly, the school board has not made the case for doing this. They just raised our taxes by billions of dollars. Every single company and government in America has vacancies right now. K-9 Forest has 94 open positions right now. You don't just throw money at this problem and ask people who are already working so hard and already paying too many taxes for even more money to try and fix their problems. The idea is you need to make a better place to work. That's how you get people and you fill these vacancies.
Well, certainly as it comes to city council, you have an opportunity to discuss some of those points. And I want to point this out. Florida's governor this week, and Governor DeSantis has been outspoken about a parent's right whether to have their children wear masks. He made headlines this week in Tampa. The governor told a group of high school students to take their masks off. Here's what he said.
You not have to wear those masks. I mean, please take them off. Honestly, it's not doing anything, and we got to stop with this COVID theater. So if you want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous.
All right, so the governor's office gave News4Jax a statement saying the governor wants to make sure everyone's aware of the facts and data now so they can feel free and comfortable without a mask. If hundreds of politicians can congregate without masks at the State of the Union, then young people should feel free, safe, going mask-free. Governor DeSantis hosting that press conference about cybersecurity jobs, announcing $20 million in funding for cybersecurity training, overshadowed by the comment of those high schoolers. So, Councilman, what do you think on this? Because I know this is something that Florida has been kind of leader on, and certainly even what do we do in the local schools? Where do you stand? Are masks done? Would you tell people, don't wear a mask?
Hey, I'm at work right now and I'm not wearing a mask. Look, I think the governor has led from the front the entire time during COVID. He has kept Florida free, kept our economy up and running, it's possible for us to keep our employees working right here. So he's 100% correct. The fact that we're still in parts of America forcing kids, even little kids, to wear masks every day is completely ridiculous. I'm proud that he said it. You know, he's getting flack for it, but most of America agrees with him. It's all theater now, especially when the president of the United States and the entire Congress gets together and there's not a mask to be seen. And trust me, their health in that room is far worse than those healthy kids that were standing behind him.
Councilman, I appreciate it. I know you do a lot of good work there with K-9s for Warriors. We always like telling people what you're doing there, and appreciate your time today. We'll speak again, I'm sure, before the end of this cycle for City Council coming up end of June. Thank you.
Always appreciate you having me. Thanks, Kent.
All right, next time here on This Week in Jacksonville, Rick Mullaney is with us once again. He's going to help us examine the end of the legislative session in Florida. That is scheduled for this Friday, March 11th. It's possible they go overtime in search of agreement on the budget and a big one, redistricting. This Week in Jacksonville airs each Sunday morning at this time. I'm Kent Justice. Thanks for watching on air on Channel 4 and the CW17 and online at news4jax.com or streaming on News4Jax Plus.
See why every day more people are choosing News4Jax, Northeast Florida and South Georgia's #1 source for local news.